thank you to the Deputy Prime Minister as my MP in constituency number Rosil. So we all know that there have been considerable development works by the CWA within the area of Rosil especially, and it is taking some time for resurfacing. Can I at least appeal to the Deputy Prime Minister, to all the CWA, at least to communicate to the inhabitants the timetable of the reinstatement of the major roads where there have been pipe, have changed pipe and so on, which ought to have been done. But if there are problems for the inhabitants, those moving around Rosil, I know that work has started. So can the Deputy Prime Minister at least request the CWA to give a timetable through the press or communicate, at least for inhabitants to know, and pending that, if the CWA could ask its contractor to do some patching works, because there are streets where there are potholes, which is causing inconveniences.
Of course, I won't get caught into this sort of timeline measures. What I can assure the House and the population, especially inhabitants of this area, is that work is being done speedily, as I'm sure the Honourable Gentleman will agree. Timelines cannot be given because it all depends on the situation as it evolves, even after the pipes have been laid. But I am sure that it will be done very speedily so that when the metro starts, everything is in good shape. Let's hope.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'd like to raise an issue addressed to the Honourable Minister of Agro-Industry and Food Security. It's in fact something which I raised in this House a few months ago, and that was the invasion of monkeys. And unfortunately, c'est de mal en pis. Unfortunately, the situation is deteriorating, especially in poultries at the bottom of the mountain near Valley-Peters area, but also where I live in Beaubassin, next to Balfour. And with the summer coming in and the blossoming of mango trees and fruits, the situation is going to be even more difficult. And so I wanted to know from the Honourable Minister whether there is any hotline or any institution where people can turn to, just like you have POWs collecting stray dogs, where there is a mechanism at the level of his ministry where some people can call and then people can come and collect these monkeys because they're causing a lot of problem. And now they're going into houses, they are looking for food, and before they attack children also. I would be grateful if the Honourable Minister update us on this situation.
Yes, Madam Speaker, it is indeed a problem. The population of monkeys is keeping on growing day by day. That is why at the level of my ministry we have embarked on a program to trap those monkeys. So we have been placing traps in different areas, and there is also, I must say, a unit at the level of my ministry, which is the Animal Welfare Unit, where you can call them to seek their intervention, and also the National Parks and Conservation Service also do provide some services in case there are monkeys causing some problems in certain areas. So we are addressing the problem, and hopefully we'll be able to kind of reduce that kind of inconveniences in those areas which are being affected.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My question is addressed to the Honourable Deputy Prime Minister with regard to the water supply in Mont-Saint-Mont, Raffray, Paille. I'm quite specific, Mont-Saint-Mont, Raffray, Paille. At the time I'm speaking now, most of the taps are dry in the household. I just received an SMS from a colleague of my constituency. So can I ask the Honourable Prime Minister to look into the matter, because up to now they are having water supply from 6 to 9 a.m. and in the afternoon it is not regular. It depends on the one who apparently opened the valve. If he wants, he open it at 5 to 6, and if he does not want, he does not want. So can I ask the Honourable Prime Minister to look into the Deputy Prime Minister to look into the matter? Thank you.
Madam Speaker, the Honourable Gentleman was kind enough to give me advance notice of the matter, so I am in a position to transmit whatever information that I obtain. First of all, there have been apparently 2 complaints today on this matter, which have been looked into. The area of Mont-Saint-Rafray is served by a reservoir which is found at Anse-Courtois. Hours of supply are between 400 hours and 800 hours, that is in the morning, and in the evening between 1600 hours and 2000 hours. Apparently the person in charge is a very reliable officer, and he has to withstand pressure from many people who come to try to persuade him to extend the hours of supply. I don't know about at the time that I'm speaking, but apparently those are these hours. But anyway, this debate will become very academic in the forthcoming days, because water is being brought over from the Bagatelle water treatment plant, which is going to supply this area. It is going to be a gradual flow of water into Anse-Courtois, so that we hope that the inhabitants of your constituency, constituency number 1, will be happy. Thank you.
The issue I'm raising tonight is addressed to the Honorable Minister Mento, who is in charge of the police, but unfortunately is not here, but I think his colleague will take this issue. Madam Speaker, I'm again raising the issue of drug trafficking at Alfred Besnauer Street, Cocoterie region in Rochebois, which is found in my constituency. Despite having raised this issue several times in the House, be it at adjournment time or through parliamentary question, last year and this year, there has not been any improvement in the situation, and what we call lending, entre guillemets, there hasn't been, or very few lending in this place, and the situation is worsening day by day. And everybody in Port Louis, in the district of Port Louis, knows where exactly this drug trafficking occurs on a 24/7 basis. But this one is a 24/7 serious basis, not a joke one for the water, but on a 24/7 basis, drug is being sold in Cocoterie region. And as I have said earlier, I have been there myself physically several times. And the inhabitants there, the young and the old, cannot open their gates, and they feel oppressed in their house and in their surrounding. So therefore, Madam Speaker, I am again requesting the Honourable Minister Mento to take this issue with the Commissioner of the Police, so that this region, this place, Cocoterie region in Rochebois, be cleaned as soon as possible. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Madam Speaker, the Honourable Member has just mentioned that this issue has been raised in the past, but I'm sure that certain measures have been taken, but nevertheless I will convey to Honourable Mentor the issue raised tonight.